Did everyone know that it was a U.S. themed show today? Because this is a pretty big crowd for that theme. I'll point that out. It is strange being American nowadays, right? Like, as an American, I wake up every morning, I look outside for the mushroom clouds. I'm really realizing that there is a very good chance that it started World War III because somebody said Donald Trump has a little dick on Twitter. You guys laugh, but that's a real possibility. Like, I put it at like 30%. 30%, that's the reason. 40% geopolitical, maybe? And then the other 30%, like, he accidentally hit the button. That's my best guess. But I had to get the fuck out, I really did. I had to leave. We had to come to Spain, and I know we have some locals in the crowd. I'm going to talk a little bit of shit real quick. Because listen, when you move to another country, you got to get used to some things. And I had to get used to, like, there was a culture shock when we first got here. Because I moved here with my wife, and the biggest culture shock for me was the I don't give a fuck attitude about customer service that they have. Like, it is really impressive. Right? You got people nodding their head. Like, I'm going to tell you why. Like, so our first house here, we had a fireplace. And my wife decided to order 1 ton of wood for delivery to our place. Does anyone know how much 1 ton of wood is?
A shit ton.
Yeah. My wife does not know how much 1 ton of wood is. She calls, she's like, hey, I want 1 ton of delivery to the house. No follow-up questions from them at all. Like, I didn't say, like, are you sure? 1 ton of wood to the middle of Barcelona? Yeah, and then 2 days later, I'm at the house by myself and a dump truck with 1 ton of wood shows up at the house. So I run outside and I'm like, hey, I don't have vehicle access to the back terrace. Like, what are we gonna do? And then he said, vale. Which is a very common term in Barcelona. And then he dumped 1 ton of wood in the street of Barcelona and drove the fuck off. And I was sitting there and I was like, on one hand I'm pissed because I spent 4 hours throwing fucking wood over a fence. On the other hand, I had to respect, like, I was like, all right, he really had a high level of fuck you. But even with that, I do love living in Europe. I really do. So much so, like, I actually got in an argument with a friend of mine back in the States recently because I said, I think living in Spain is better than living in America. And that was not his reaction. So his response was probably the most American response ever.
I'll deport you.
No, that wasn't what he said. But what he did say was, what about the freedoms? I was like, dude, like, I don't know what you think's happening in Europe, but like, I felt like his only reference for European living was Anne Frank's diary, and like, things have changed, man. And that's not even the worst part. Like, then I then said the one thing you'll never say to an American, which was, plus, I don't think America's that free. Yeah, I think I broke him. Like, he lost. He was like, how could you say that? You were in the military, you fought for the freedom. And guys, listen, I was in the military, but I was in the military a lot like the band was on the Titanic. Like, I was there for the job, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. So you gotta understand, like, I didn't do great in high school. Like, it was rough for me. Like, my grades weren't good. So my options were like military or McDonald's. And like, if I knew I was going to spend 6 months in Afghanistan, to be honest, but I probably still would have chosen Afghanistan. I think there's a better chance of me getting shot at a McDonald's than Florida. But I did tell him, I was like, we really only care about 2 freedoms, if we're being honest, depending on what side of the aisle you're on, right? Like, freedom of speech was a big one, right? Freedom of speech is a big one. However, our government's still trying to ban TikTok right now. Because, and I quote, China's using it to gather intelligence. I've been on TikTok. I've never seen anything intelligent. I Best case scenario, they use their data and they're trying to see if our military readiness is good, and they just go, I think we won. I think we're okay. And number two is the other one. Number two is give me my guns. Okay, and I'm not here to tell you if we should or shouldn't have guns. That's not what I'm here to say. What I am here to say is I find it interesting that the metric for freedom is the ability to buy a gun in a parking lot in a mall, but not have healthcare enough to buy the bullets because you go bankrupt. Like, because you guys gotta understand. Like, I live in Spain. I see topless women on the beach. I drink wine in the street. And free healthcare. Like, I don't know. I feel pretty fucking free. And I do like. It is funny to me because people do throw like my military service because they think that I'm supposed to fit in a certain opinion bucket, right? So they'll say that. And guys, I got a secret to tell you. Most of us, about 40%, based on my math, we just smoked too much weed in high school. Now, granted, there are 60% who are like masturbating to Joe Rogan's podcast. They exist. They're there. And like I realized early on where I was because they taught us about the Medal of Honor. And I don't know if you guys know what this is, but the Medal of Honor is the highest award you can receive in the U.S. military. You get it for over and above sacrifice to your country. So most of them either died or half their faces blown off. And then I looked around and all these guys are pumped. Like they're ready to die for their country. And I realized that I am not the jump on the grenade guy. Like I will help an old lady across the street from my country, but like if I die, it's on accident. Guys, I think that's my time. Give it up for Mariah.